What up, everyone? Coming at you with another tire review on a long tire testing. Not really a weekend, it's midweek. I'm out here for 2 days, but it's kind of a weekend. Took some time off, so midweek weekend. Right now we're looking at the Proline BFGoodrich KM3. Can't think of the name of this right now. It'll be in the title and the description. Let me pause and take a look. Yeah, the Mud Terrain KM3. This is the G8 compound. Inside of these, we are running Three Brothers 3D inserts, but these are single stage, not dual stage. I have never run a single stage 3D insert, and I wanted to see if I liked them. They're noticeably softer than the dual stage. I think they might bag more than I like. They did when it was sitting. But right now they're doing fine. A little bit of side slip from the KM3. Let's take you there. I need to turn up. I'm sliding a lot now. That rear. Yeah, we're going to roll. Can I do anything to avoid the roll? That rear kind of slid. Slid more than we needed it to, or wanted it to. And honestly, I think some of that might have been insert, because I definitely noticed that rear tire bagging more than usual. So let's go ahead and just take the higher line that is not quite as hard on the inserts. I've had quite a few rollouts off of this obstacle today, especially, there's a lot of side slip there. That's not insert, that's compound. G8 compound, gotta love. So I don't run Predator when I run Proline, because I crawl on sandstone, and the majority of the year we're at 80 degrees and above, which means the rock temperature is usually even warmer. And Predator just gets eaten up. And I don't even really mind if the tire wears quickly, but Predator, when it gets too warm, it turns into gooey nastiness. And so unfortunately, G8 is a little bit what I'm stuck running with. I can run Predator in the late fall and through the winter. But I'm not a huge fan of Proline tires anyway. I hate to spend every Proline tire I buy to test. I hate to buy a Predator and a G8. So we're running G8s. I'm not sure that this specific tire comes in anything but G8. I know a couple of theirs, like the flat iron, only comes in G8. Here's a rollout. That again, I believe, was insert. Side hill performance is okay. Too much side slide. And so far, I'm not really a massive fan of these single stage. I hit the wrong button on the camera there. So far, I'm not a huge fan of these single stage 3D inserts. Definitely collapsing more than I like. Possibly on a really lightweight rig, they'd be okay, but here on Tire Rack, 6.5 pounds-ish, I think we're a little too soft. So the KM3 might get a redux video. We'll see. We'll see how it does throughout the course. See how much I think the insert is holding it back. But I don't like the single stage insert. I can tell you that already. Which I had a feeling that I wouldn't be a fan of it, even before I ordered them. Oh, no, don't roll into the water. We've already done that today. Damn it. Hold on. Half my course being underwater due to the water level is really starting to wear on me. I've adjusted, but it's been exhausting. Anyway, when I ordered these, I kind of figured that I probably wouldn't be a fan, but you don't know until you actually try something yourself, you know what I mean? KM3 is doing really well right there. Good pull up, no issues. And so I will mention again, speaking of you don't know until you try it yourself, whenever you watch one of my reviews or anybody's review of a tire or anything else, make sure you pay attention, especially with tires. Pay attention to the terrain that they're crawling on, the temperatures they're crawling in, and even the rig that they're running. Pay attention to their driving style. And there's a reason why I try to talk about some of my preferences during my reviews, is because my preferences might not be the same as your preferences. For example, I don't like my inserts to bag a whole lot, which is why I don't like these single stage 3D inserts. You might like that. But the reason that I'm talking about that now, and that I've actually been talking about this a fair amount recently, let me make sure I'm getting this on camera. I'm rambling and forgetting to look where I'm doing. But the reason that I've been mentioning this, not only in this video, but I've been mentioning it in quite a few of my videos lately, is about a month ago I got a message from somebody saying that they watched my review of the Power Hobby Armor. And I gave the Power Hobby Armor a pretty good, I guess you would call it rating. I don't really do ratings, but I said it was a good tire. Because I had really good luck with it. It did well on my course. And they messaged me saying that they bought it after watching my review, and they didn't have good luck with it, and they thought it was a terrible tire, and accused me of wasting their money. And so it's super important, guys, to realize that when you watch a review, your results might not be the same. I'm crawling in the Midwest. I'm crawling in warm temperatures most of the time. Like I said earlier, it's usually 80 and above for about 8 months out of the year. And the other 3 to 4 months is we get a little bit below, between like 50 and 70. And then we have about 3 months of usually below 40. It could be all the way down to 0. So those are the temperatures that I get. I crawl pretty much exclusively on camera anyway. I crawl on sandstone, which is a higher grip surface. And although some of these rocks go through an erosion cycle and sometimes they're pretty slippery, sometimes they're pretty grippy. And, you know, this is an RTR rig. I have a lot of driving time with this rig. I know how it handles, and that's important when you're driving, especially out in nature, and your course is constantly changing and everything. All of this to say, just because something works for me or doesn't work for me does not necessarily mean that you're going to have the same experience. And it's very, very foolish to watch a review, whether it's one review or maybe you watch 10 reviews. It's very foolish to watch a review and then buy something thinking that you're going to have the exact same results of that. You should watch a review and you should get an idea of how a tire handles specific terrains. But if you watch my videos and I crawl on sandstone and I crawl in warm temperatures and you crawl exclusively on like shale and you are in mild temperatures, our results probably are not going to be the same with a lot of tires. And while I'm not necessarily like salty that somebody would accuse me of wasting their money based off of me saying a tire worked well for me, because quite honestly, I don't really care that somebody made a foolish decision. You can avoid accountability and blame me. That's fine. But just understand, if you're new to the hobby and you're watching these reviews, trying to make a decision on what tire to buy, it is important to watch these reviews. Like, I'm doing this for a reason. I think this information is valid, but it is not universal and it shouldn't be taken as gospel. And you should especially pay attention to reviewers. I will say this also. This is something that kind of grinds my gears. There are certain channels that I'm aware of that I'm not going to call out by name, but it seems like everything that they review is awesome. Oh, it's awesome. It's amazing. It's really good. It's awesome. Guys, there's not that much awesome stuff out there. So, like, if you're watching a channel, and some of these channels are pretty popular, and some of them are pretty interesting to watch, like, you know, the personalities of the people. Well, I mean, personally, I find them a little bit loud and annoying, but they clearly draw an audience. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands. Ooh, I just got stung. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But if everything is awesome, just be a little suspicious. They're probably getting stuff for free, and they're probably afraid that if they leave negative reviews of certain brands too many times, that they won't get that stuff for free anymore. I don't know if there's any truth to if that would happen, but I do believe that that is what some people, I think that's why they leave only positive reviews of things. Now, full disclosure, I will go ahead and say I have received one pair of tires for free from a manufacturer. They were Upgrade RC razor wires, and I think those tires are pretty good. But if I didn't, I wouldn't say they were, because I don't see the point. And like, my channel's small. I received those by chance, and they were not given to me contingent on anything. They weren't really even given to me contingent on leaving a review at all. They were given to me because I asked for them. I'm going to try to bump here. Having a lot of trouble getting onto the obstacle with the KM3. Once we're on, not able to go up. Lots of bounce, a little bit of traction hop, and then it's accentuated by the 3D insert, which is a common side effect of 3D inserts. There we go. Come on, come on. Get the hook. Need to hook the side lug. Not able to steer. Can we slow it down? G8 just really doesn't do the thing. These are also, I will say, these are pretty scrubbed in. This is a used set of tires. I bought these used on eBay because I like to not pay Proline prices whenever I can. So these are already nice and scrubbed in. Speaking of price, Proline, $32 a pair. Come with ridiculously soft open cell foams. They have to be replaced. I have replaced them with an equally soft single stage 3D insert. So the sidewall doesn't collapse as much, but they are still too soft for my liking. But although I did not pay $32 a pair for these, I paid $40 for the set. I will take the manufacturer pricing into account. Here's another obstacle that's been messed up by the water level at the lake that continues to rise slightly, even though they have the spillway open. A lot of rain in the last couple days, and the lake continues to receive runoff from the 700 square mile surrounding area. There's the diff hang. Can the front tires pull us off? Maybe with a little bit of shuttling. Oop, got too far and hooked the side lug, or hooked the edge of the rock and messed up. Hang on. I am allowing one reset on this obstacle because this obstacle is actually a little bit dependent on being able to come onto it the right way, at the right angle, straight, and with the water level, it's really hard to do that. So there we go. That's kind of more of what we're looking for. So what happens here is we want to hang that rear diff, but we want the front tires to have enough grip to be able to use the momentum of the rig to pull the rear off. Now, as you see, now that we backed up and went back over it without momentum, we are stuck. So now what we're going to try, slight wheel speed, and it's able to pull it off. Oh, and I think I'm going to be done after this video for the day. This is my first of 2 days out here. I've got another handful of tires to test. I could get in at least one more video tonight before the sun's too low to be useful, but I am exhausted. I'm mentally exhausted as much as I am physically exhausted. So I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go drive somewhere where I get reception and call my kids. And then figure out dinner. Bumping up onto the obstacle. Now we need to find our line. We give ourselves the whole face of this obstacle to work with, but the closer we can stay to the opposite side of the obstacle, the better. There we go. And we need wheel speed to get us off. Nice and smooth. Inserts not really causing too much of a problem on the stiff or on the steep climbs. Really, the only time I think they caused a significant issue was on the side hill. Let's not even say significant issue. The only time they caused an issue was on the side hill. Because of that, I am not a fan of the single stage 3D inserts on tire rack. But I've got a lighter weight rig in mind that I might run these on. And so I might put them on that rig and then actually do a review of the insert by itself, because I do see a place in the market for a single stage ultra soft 3D insert. That place is just, I don't think, on this rig. KM3 is handling the trails pretty well. We get over the hang up here. Oop. There we go. And our last rock obstacle. A little more challenging than it really looks on camera. Yeah, KM3 struggling a little bit to pull on. We really need to stay over on, there we go. Not too bad. And on to our hill climb. Ooh. Oh, diffing. Just about fell. Not really any significant issue with the hill climb. Loose gravel here. KM3 is handling it pretty well. So how about those KM3s? Not a bad tire. Again, I'm not a massive fan of G8. I'm not a massive fan of Proline, but these did pretty well for a Proline G8 tire. I don't see any inherent issues with the lug design. The only real issue was side hilling, and I think that was probably a insert mismatch as much as it was the tire. So if you like Proline, or if you're wanting to build a rig with a scale tire and you like the look of the KM3, you could do worse. Have a good one, everybody.